Scorpio, hi, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you come across this video. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, and purchases off the wish list. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. I really do. Okay, Scorpio. Theme of your reading is I feel like you are being and very specific on the blindly led somewhere else. Sometimes life brings questions. Questions about love, questions about career, questions about your life journey, and sometimes we just need a little clarity. And that is where my new sponsor, Psychic Source, comes in. Psychic Source has been around for over 35 years, connecting people like you with trusted, compassionate advisors to bring through insights and guidance that they need at this time. One of the things that I loved or that stood out to me with Psychic Source was that not only do they care about their customers, but they also care about their employees as well as the world. They donate 1% of all proceeds to a good cause through their kindness initiative. I had a chance to experience the whole experience and talk to a psychic advisor, and I left feeling far more confident than I did like walking into it. She was able to pull on a recent dream that I had, and the craziness of it, and help me find clarity through that. She recognized that I was going through a purge and that I was going through kind of like a rebranding, if you will. She was also able to give me like kind of a little bit of clarity on a direction that I'm headed in. And she even was able to like give like dates type energy, as well as like a couple names she pulled out. So it was very good. Like I said, I left feeling a lot more confident than I did going in, just about the direction that I'm headed in. And I didn't ask her any questions. This was all just, I just asked her, what do you got? And she just came, pulled all this stuff, and it was very good. It was very good. So with all that being said, I'm excited to share that Psychic Source is offering an incredible deal for my viewers, you guys. Okay, new customers can get up to 40 minutes with one of their advisors for just $19.80. That's a value up to $240, okay? You can get the deal through the link in the description box below using the keyword Corie, C-O-R-I-E, or you can go to trypsychicsource.com/Corie. There's never been a better time to experience true connection. Okay. Maybe not necessarily in the physical. I feel like it has to do with purpose. Okay, it's almost like maybe Scorpio, your purpose is shifting. Oftentimes, our purpose does that through life, right? And we have multiple, right? At any given time, there could be a purpose that shows up in you, and it could be helping somebody out. It could be one of my favorite examples is helping an older person walk across the street or something like that, right? Which you never see that, but anyways. It could be something as simple as that, but this feels bigger than that. I have a feeling where Scorpio, maybe somebody wanted you to feel stuck in something, okay? But again, it's going to be like this energy where all of a sudden you find yourself in a different, I almost want to say environment, and it could be energetically, but it's like, yeah, there's also some sort of like storm that could be bringing in some sort of flood here. Okay, so something about Noah's Ark. Right? You may have been building something for quite some time, and the flood may be coming. You know what I mean? But in the best way, right? There's an energy too where some of you, there's something where it's like you may have not realized that you are very like you can adapt, like you're very adaptable, right? Like you just kind of like adapt to to your experience, to your circumstances, things like that. But for some reason, I just have this feeling where you may be surprised, where it's like you find yourself in a different environment, a different experience, kind of doing something different, and you're like, oh shit, right? Like it's like I have a tail, and I have fins, and I have gills. How am I breathing underwater right now? You know what I mean? Like, but there's this energy of like it feeling so good, right? Like, oh man, this is what I've been missing, right? It's like this energy of like maybe a phase in your life has been like coming to a close, Scorpio, and it's almost like there could have been a little bit of resistance, but it's like as soon as you're like dropped into this, different experience, this different, it feels different. It's either it is different or it's just the flood in whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whatever it is that you've been building, the flood is showing up, right? But it does feel different, and it feels right. You know what I mean? It feels, because if there was, Scorpio, if you were one that resonated with like a phase in your life, like coming to an end, right? It could have got a little uncomfortable or a little like, like that type of energy here. Yeah. All right. What does Scorpio need to know for the next couple of weeks? Okay, yeah, we have a higher power, and that was actually at the bottom of the deck here. These came out here with this blessed, this never-ending story, and this breathe. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's a phase in your life that's associated with this never-ending story. Okay, that's like coming to an end here. There's also, I feel like there's a higher power. The divine is bringing like two people together that were maybe even three people here. Yeah, we have this breathe, we have this blessed, and this never-ending story here, Scorpio. Anything else to come out for Scorpio? It feels like it's a matter of time, though, right? Because she's sitting on the time thing, and that could be also too, right? Scorpio, it's like, that could be where some pressure is coming from because of something to do with time. But I feel like we have happy with co-create here. There is an energy where it's like, whatever this is, wherever you end up, right? Or whether it be energetically or physically or, just something like that, it is going to feel very good. It's going to feel natural. It's going to feel like kind of at home here, okay? Scorpio, but interesting enough, I usually don't pick up on different energies from these oracle cards here, but it does feel like there could be like three people coming together who are just in different energies, right? Different states of consciousness, but they all have something to benefit from here, okay? There is this energy too where, you're kind of, again, you're choosing to look away from whatever programming kind of kept up with this never-ending story here. All right. Messages for Scorpio. Tell me what this higher power is. Whoa. Look, we have Priestess here. Scorpio, a lot of you are very tapped in, okay? You are very connected to a higher power here, okay? And you receive lots of messages, okay? You may be getting some sort of confirmation here, okay? Yeah. There's also, too, some sort of, like, I feel like offering or something like that, or like love offer that the divine may be giving to you, like, or again, it's like an offer that you will love, right? This cup is very full. This is coming from the divine, okay? Seriously. Now, again, you may have to like sacrifice you know, your current experience, or what you're doing now, or something like that, but there is an offer that's coming in here, okay? And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Tell me more about this offer coming towards Scorpio, please. Friggin' twin flame. Scorpio, also heard, too, that song, I heard that men never choose. The one that they love is the one that they lose. Something about a suburban house. It's Jesse Reyes. I don't know the name of the song. Why is this poverty here? Transition. What's the transition? Unbothered. There could have been somebody doing some sort of voodoo on your finances, okay? But again, that's where it's like, it feels like, you know, a phase is coming to an end, right? So maybe somebody, you know, they could have been doing some sort of voodoo to your finances when it came to one certain thing, but it's almost like this higher power, or this, you know, this divine is like, the divine is bringing you another, like, you know, again, it's something that's more aligned, right? It's something you're transitioning, right? And so whatever had kind of attached to, there was something like, I feel like somebody tainted the energy of something, but if the divine allowed that to happen, it was something that really wasn't meant to be permanent, Scorpio. Okay, and so, or there was like some lessons that needed to be learned. Okay, yeah. If there was somebody doing voodoo here, okay, either this person is going into some sort of poverty, Scorpio, or somebody may pass away. Okay. Yeah, look. Somebody who showed up as some sort of like nice guy, right? Was sending some sort of evil eye to whatever you were doing, right? This would be somebody like showing up to your face, right? Being all nice and kind. Say, and we're going back to Scorpio to that example of like Noah's Ark, right? And then they'd go behind your back and be like, man, You know, Scorpio's just over there building this ark. It's not rained in 40 years. You know what I mean? Like that type of energy. It's something like that, right? Like, and just kind of like, I feel like there's gossip, there's evil eye, there's things like that, right? Just about what you're building or about, you know, like that type of energy here. Tell me about this blessed. Yeah. Somebody may be jealous or envious because you are just naturally blessed. No, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. Clap for the heavyweight champ, me. But I couldn't do it all alone. We. Yeah, this is a karmic masculine who's jealous. You maybe just keep getting blessings, or yeah, they have to take, okay? And it's like, you know, maybe this person is like a thief or a scam artist or something like that, right? They have to do things like voodoo or whatever to get what they want. And it's like, but you're blessed, like money just flows to you here. Yeah, look, somebody created some sort of rumors, right? False narrative came out. That's what I'm saying. Somebody went around. Yeah, and now they're concerned about this. They did, because it's about to fucking rain. And so now this person is going to look like, you know, the naysayer, or the, you know, they may even be exposed as a thief, or, you know what I mean, like a gossip, or, you know, something like that here, right? Yeah. This is like an energy of like, you know, it feels like, what it feels like, it's like right when it's like you've completed the boat, okay, and it's like it's starting to rain and you're loading all the animals on, right? And it's like somebody that went around creating a false narrative, or sending evil eye, talking shit about Noah building the ark, right? And hearing God's voice, right? That was another thing that came through of like, whoever this is, you may be very, yeah, we have the higher power with the priestess here. You may be very connected to the divine, right? And so this is somebody being like, oh, Scorpio doesn't hear God's voice. You know what I mean? Scorpio isn't connected to anything outside of them. Well, no, because it's not outside of you. Right? But they don't know that, right? And so now this, it's like, again, it's like there's concern because maybe it's starting to sprinkle. You know what I'm saying? And so there's some sort of evidence or truth, or truth be told, right? That you must really hear God's voice, right? Or you must really be tapped into, you know, the spiritual realm, a higher power here. Mm-hmm. 333 might be significant, Scorpio. Okay, tell me about this never-ending story for Scorpio, please. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. You're moving on from that. There's some sort of like maybe cycle that you would just go like round and round, right? But you're recognizing and realizing that it's not even real. You know what I mean? It's not even real, and so you're moving on from it here, okay? Yeah, and whoever went around creating that false narrative or talking about you or whatever, right? This is imprisonment here. So, drawn over to this Eight of Swords, it's like, you know, whether it be spiritually, you know, right? Well, all the people, right, that said all that stuff about Noah, you know, you can imagine, you know, they drowned. You know what I mean? They fucking drowned. God has a way. The divine has a way. The universe has a way. Okay? There's almost this energy of Scorpio getting you to a point of not needing outside validation when it comes to your intuition, right? Or wanting it, or, you know, we all could use a little confirmation sometimes, right? But it's like you had brought yourself to a point of just knowing, right? Yes, I am very connected to a higher power. I am kind of in this priest or this priestess energy, this high priestess energy, this high priest energy, that type of thing, right? Or the Hierophant I'm hearing, something like that, right? You know, it's like getting you to that point. And then it's like as soon as you get to that point where you're like, yeah, you know, and there's that confidence in yourself and things like that, it's like, that's when the rain starts falling, Scorpio. You know what I mean? That's when God's like, okay, here's your validation, and here's the proof to everyone else. You know what I mean? Now that you don't need it, here you go. Yeah. Now that you, you know, it's not something that's necessarily going to feel like, you know, now that you don't need this to happen to feel complete or to feel whole or to feed an ego or to, you know what I mean, just confirm for yourself or something like that. It's like, boom, there it is, right? Something like that. Tell me about this breed. Whoever this was, right? I'm telling you, yeah, they could have some sort of obsession here, okay? Yeah. Surprise, and then came out the single, sexy, and successful. Exactly, Scorpio. It's like, look, we have chakras and we have rising star. I'm telling you, it's like, this is causing conflict in somebody else's house. Or there's some sort of conflict about a house. Yeah, man. Somebody, I feel like, oh, hold on. Okay. 2020, Scorpio. I forget what I was saying here. Maybe we'll just leave it there. Yeah, we have unexpected money coming. I'm telling you. Because you've loved yourself through some sort of emotional pain, right? Maybe your arc is like financial stability, Scorpio. Or it could be a house, right? Or it could be, you know what I'm saying? It's something like that where it's like, I feel like too, it has to do with your intuition, your spirituality, like your gifts, right? Connecting to a higher power. I feel that in a big way. But there's also something else, right? Too, that you were doing with that because you were guided to do so. You know what I mean? And yeah. But yeah. Scorpio, this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. If you need anything from me, that's in the description box below, but it is about to rain. Okay? And, you know, you can take that in any form of context that resonates with you. All right. I love you.